Hi folks, I hope you're well. This video will hopefully be pretty quick, we'll see. All I got was walking on water and standing. Because the only way you can walk on water is to stand. And what I mean by that is, if you are standing on God, if you're focusing on the solution, not the problem, and you're walking, actually walking, you could walk through a pond completely and walk on the water, because you're not looking at the water, you're not looking at the pond, you're focusing on the Father, and therefore there's no fear or and there's no logic in your mind saying you can't walk on water. It's impossible. So that's the only way you can walk on water. Well, unless you understand completely and utterly all things with God are possible. But you've got to... It's a different thing saying it to actually understanding it. Understanding it is a very, very different thing completely. Because if you're walking according to heaven rather than according to earth, then and you're walking according to the principles of heaven, but you know that, then you can walk on water and you can see the water and you can see all that, and it's not a problem, like Yeshua did. You can do what Yeshua did. But Peter wasn't doing that. Peter was focused on the solution. He was focused completely on Yeshua. As soon as he looked at the water, boom, he started going down. As soon as he focused on the problem, he was down. But because the logic in his own mind was saying, you can't walk on water, you're going to drown, you're going to fall down. Yeah. That's why you stay in the boat. Because if you could just fish by just walking on the water, throwing your net down and then dragging the net with you, walking on water, you wouldn't need a boat, would you? But the logic says you need a boat. Yeah. So therefore he started going down. And Yeshua, in the situation he was in, where he was having to carry the cross after being beaten to a point where most of us would have died. When I say most, I'm talking about 99.8% of people who have ever lived would have died at the beating. The rest of us would have died at the first few meters of carrying that cross after the beating. Yeah. Because we would have just given up. Our bodies would have given up. We would have died. Because that much of a beating and then having to carry a heavy blinking cross. Yeah, right, no chance. And walking steps. Nah, couldn't do it. But he could, because he was focusing on the solution, not the problem. He was focusing on the purpose. He knew the reason why he was here was to do that. So he was focusing on the purpose and on the solution, which was Father. He was trusting in his Father to get him through this. Because he understood that, okay, he is the Son of God, but right now he's human. And so in his strength, he couldn't do it. He knew at that point in time, in his strength, he couldn't do it. Oh, yeah. And so he had to focus on Father in order to be able to take those steps with the cross on his back. To be nailed to the cross, to be hung up there. He had to be focusing on Father rather than everything that's going on. Occasionally, he would answer what was being said, or, he would do his bit that he had to do in order to fulfill what was said he would do. But yeah. Yeah. And earlier I was listening to that song Truly by Lionel Richie. And because I'd previously thought, what a beautiful song. And it does speak about the relationship that we have with God. I thought, but maybe the song needs to be changed a bit because, it's written as a human love song. So maybe it needs to be changed. So I was listening to it thinking, okay, it might need to be changed. I'm listening from the bit that needs to be changed. And the song got to the end and no, nothing needs to be changed. It's an absolutely beautiful song speaking about the love of God and our love for him. Perfect. It's just beautiful. Although in one bit it says, let me be your lover. But again, understand it from spiritual. It's not talking about, if you change it from physical to spiritual, then again, it fits perfectly. Because what would a spiritual thing be with regards to lover compared to physical? Because physical, we understand it to be in sex. But spiritual would be what? So from a God point of view, it would be what? He's talking about relationship. He's talking about taking care of you and being with you and speaking with you and listening to you and giving you that attention, that time. Because really, there's a lot of relationships break up because they have okay sex, but what they don't have is the time. They don't have the communication. They don't have that time that they give each other. Well, we get that from God. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Now, getting to a point where we're understanding that we're living according to heaven's principles, and then, because of course we're supposed to be, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So therefore, but that's not talking necessarily about that, because your kingdom come, your will be done. Is that talking necessarily about his ways? I don't know. So I'm not sure if that's covering it. But if you're talking about his kingdom come, well then his kingdom is heaven, so his, I don't think it means that either, but Does it mean in any way, shape or form walking heaven's ways and heaven's principles on earth? It certainly does to a certain degree. So will it mean that for all things? I don't know. I don't think there's any reason why not. And I don't think it's a case that all of us will walk out all of it. I think some people walk out some of it, other people walk out other things. So therefore, I think everything will be walked out by different people. So therefore, it will be walked out, but not necessarily by everyone. Doesn't need to be. Again, do we need to be showing signs and wonders of us walking across the Mediterranean Sea or the whatever? No, we don't need that, do we? And I imagine you need a packed lunch because it would take quite a while to do that, wouldn't it? Even like the British Channel, to walk across that, it would take a while. You need to take a packed lunch. And I understand the point of walking across, but I'm not sure I'm not sure if the word says you can have a picnic on the sea, because I think that's although again, why not? Why not? You could do, couldn't you? But yeah. All things are possible. I think that is absolutely true. But not all things are going to happen all the time, and certainly not all things are going to happen for all people. And so I think that is all things are still possible, all things. So walking on water is something that is absolutely possible. Even walking on water, understanding, with your eyes open, looking at the situation, you can walk on water as Yeshua did. You can walk on water as the Peter did. No, you're better off walking on water as to how Yeshua did, because then it's not based upon focusing on the solution, because if you take your eyes off, So, yeah. And actually, that's another thing. If you're walking on water and you're focusing on a solution, what happens if you take your eyes off him for a second and put your eyes back on him? Can you get back up and stand up and walk on water again? When you're in the middle of the water? I do not know. I don't imagine so, but again, if that's under the umbrella of everything is possible, then, of course, that must be possible. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. I will leave you to it. You take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing, be blessed, and have a fantastic week ahead. Well, the rest of it at least, and weekend ahead. Enjoy it. At the moment, we've got rainy weather for now. But that will clear up. So you take care. Bye-bye.